2024. It's a new start to the school year. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be taking you along on my part 2 of my prepping for 2024. And yes, it is already the start of 2024, but I haven't prepped for school yet, and so I thought I would just take you guys on a few days in my life. This is my first week back. They didn't give us any breaks. January 2nd, and I have class today. But because it's recorded, I'm gonna just watch the lecture a little bit later today just so that I can get everything prepped for the week. I failed to do this over the weekend just because I was sick and working, and I just didn't have time to do like a full reset. So that's what we're going to be doing today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Amaya. I'm in an accelerated nursing program and I have 6 months left. So very exciting stuff. I'm so excited to film today's video, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. If you do, make sure you like and subscribe because it would mean so much to me. And yeah, let's just start our day. So to get started with today's video, I just wanted to go through just a couple of tips that I have for, starting a new school year or a new semester. For me personally, I am starting a new semester, and it's kind of just focused in on one course rather than like a regular college semester. But I figured that if you are starting a new school year entirely, or you're just starting winter semester, that this could be helpful for you. So I just have some tips for you guys in regards to that new start and what I'm gonna be trying to implement or already have implemented in my study routine, I guess. So starting with tip number 1, it's get organized, and this is in regards to using a planner, whether you use that digitally or on paper. Using a planner or calendar can be really helpful in regards to staying on track and keeping tabs on the most important things that you have for the school year. I feel like at this point, everybody does utilize a planner, but if you don't, you should really think about starting because it does help. The second tip that I have is to form a better morning and night routine, and this is a personal resolution of mine for the year because I have fallen off track with my usual night and morning routines, and I think this is really important just so that you can have a clear headspace when you're going into, you're studying or going into a test. It's really important that you have a routine and something that's consistent that you know works for you and can help you in your studies later on. The next tip that I have for you guys is to clean up or reorganize your study space, especially if you study a lot at home or in your dorm. You want to make sure that that space is clear, because when you have all that clutter and then you have a lot of things going on in your mind, it's really hard to focus. And so cleaning up your study space can be helpful. Even reorganizing like your desk area can be really exciting, and this can enhance your space and make you feel a little bit more motivated to be at your desk. Then the fourth tip I have, which is kind of related to the third tip as far as like decluttering your space, is to go ahead and clean up that desktop. I'm sure you have a lot of files that you don't need from previous courses, and go through your files and then just delete everything that you don't need anymore. So the fifth tip I have is something that I want to incorporate into my routine. It's not something that I've really done in the past few months. I did used to do this during like COVID times, but then after my first degree I stopped doing that, and during nursing school I wasn't really implementing it, but it's using time blocks. When you're in your planner and you're planning out your day, I think it might be a little bit more helpful, rather than having just like a general to-do list, is to time block what deserves how much amount of time and what times are you going to do this and when are you going to give yourself a break. I think that can be super helpful in keeping your mind focused on one thing rather than working on one thing, but you see on your to-do list you have something else, and then kind of trying to split your focus on the two of them. Give yourself that one time block to focus on like the one subject and then move on to the next subject. The sixth tip I have is to implement different study methods and try out a bunch of things. Go on YouTube, see what's working for some people, and then once you figure out what works for you, stick to it. At the beginning of nursing school, I was typing out all of my study guides, and while I felt like I was being productive, when it came down to understanding the content, I felt like the knowledge wasn't really there because I was just passively typing out notes. So what I started doing just recently was handwriting all of my notes, and I found that my retention has been a lot better. I started using an active recall method for my study days, and this just helps me go into any test more prepared. I go in way more confident because I've gone through a couple passes of writing down everything I know about one certain topic and then going back into my notes, filling in the blanks of what other important information that I might have missed. And as you continue to pass through it, you start to see that that second color that you were using, you're not seeing it as often because you are writing down all of the information. Like I said, I've found myself going into tests really confident. And then the last study tip that I have is to balance your work or study schedule with activities that bring you joy. For me, I do want to try and get back into volleyball a little bit more. I've kind of taken a break from it, but I think it's such a good release for me that I could actually benefit from playing more. I feel like this really helps, you know, when it's time to get back in and focus on your studies, you can, because you kind of spent time outside of thinking about what you're working on. Give yourself the time to have fun so that you're not burning yourself out. Something that I really struggle with is just overworking myself and overstudying and stressing myself out, and it actually causes me to be physically ill. It keeps me healthy overall. Anyways, that is all of the tips that I have for you guys. I hope that it can be helpful or you can use it in some way or another in your study schedule. But yeah, let's get on to the rest of the video. So as if one planner isn't enough, I went ahead and just wrote my to-do list for today. So I need to do Module 8 pre-recorded lectures, the Module 8 lecture, Module 8 quiz, and then I'm going to review some of Module 6 since we were on break. But I just have this kind of like skeleton schedule, and then I'll add from there as the days go by. But I also put it on this little desk pad too, the same info, because I just get very paranoid, so I need it in 2 places. And if that wasn't enough, I went ahead and put a study plan on my whiteboard, and this is just like for me personally to follow, to make sure that I stay on top of my studies and don't like fall behind and have to cram by the day before test day. So the first parts of the study plan are pretty heavy just because I have some assignments due, but then starting Thursday really, I'm just going to be able to do full reviews of each module, and I'm going to focus a lot on active recall. And then these are my important dates. I like to keep all the ones that I've already done just to show my progress, but we just have a sim lab next week and then an assessment the next day. So that's the plan for this course. So what's nice about my program is that we only focus on one course at a time. We don't have to worry about different classes. It's just usually one course over the span of anywhere between 2 weeks to 6 weeks. This one's a 6-week one, but because of Thanksgiving break and Christmas break, it dragged out to almost 2 months. But basically all I have to do is focus on the content of this course, which is Adult Health 2, kind of like your critical care course. And so we just have it split up between like respiratory, cardio, renal, endocrine, all of that. That's kind of how my program is laid out, which is super nice, but it's fast and it's difficult for obvious reasons. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just redo my desk space. It doesn't need any like revamping just because I already cleaned out like some of my stuff from here already, but I'm just gonna like dust it so that I have like a new fresh space here. I was hoping to get into making my keyboard, but I don't think the keyboard itself is gonna be here on time. I do have the switches already and I have the keycaps, so it's all set to go, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to get to it this video. So I think the next thing that I'm gonna do is just go through my computer and all of my files that I have here and just do like a full reorganization of my computer so that everything is all nice and tidy. Okay, so I just finished cleaning out my desktop. I also went through my iPad and just like reorganized everything a little bit, but I'll just show you guys. I put my little vision board on my iPad as well. If you didn't watch the first part to this series, go and watch it right after you watch this one. I'm just gonna show you where I take my notes. This actually changed because I used to use Notability for a really long time, and then I just had so many notes in there and I didn't feel like filtering it all out, so I just downloaded GoodNotes and I started using that, and so far I like it. But this is what I have when you open GoodNotes. So this is my assessment 1 topics and then assessment 2 topics. So this is going to be the one that we're in for the rest of this course. Right now we are going over renal. We had hepatobiliary and endocrine before our winter break started. And then burns, trauma, and musculoskeletal is going to be at the end of this week. But I'll show you what I have in each folder. Is just a notebook, one single notebook, which I'm realizing now I could have just all had different notebooks instead of like a folder, like a notebook in a folder, if that makes sense. But that's just how I organized it for some reason. Oh, it was because I thought I was going to do flashcards, and then I never did it. So one thing that you'll learn in nursing school is as much as you do want to take a ton of notes, it's not sustainable and you kind of just have to stick to like one study method. But anyways, so inside each topic folder I have my notebook, and these are just the notes that I take. And we have pre-recorded lectures that it's like an option to watch them, but I normally do just because it has all of the information I need. And I'll go in with one color and write down all of the notes from the pre-recorded lectures. And then when we have our regular module lectures, that's when I'll go in with a different color and kind of highlight what's important or what they want us to know for the test and stuff like that. So this is like my blank slate, and then I have to go through the lecture a little bit later. But that's basically what my iPad situation looks like. Guys, I actually didn't think I was gonna get it in time for this video, but the keyboard came in, and I'm gonna show you how I'm building my new keyboard. Long story short, I posted a TikTok about my old mechanical keyboard, which is this one, and everyone was mad about it because they were saying I had the wrong switches in. When come to find out, the switches didn't even exist in here. So I figured I would build my own keyboard, and that's what we're gonna do tonight. So I'm in the middle of building this keyboard, and honestly my battery's about to die, but if you want to see me build it, I will be posting that on TikTok, so make sure you follow me there, and I'll show you guys the finished product.
I don't know what did you guys play when you were in Florida?
Look at her just sitting here. Look how pretty she looks. Like, I'm so obsessed. Okay, so it's the next day, and I actually just got my clinical schedule for this next rotation last night. So what I'm gonna do, because I work part-time, I need to adjust my schedule according to my clinicals. And what's nice about my job is they've been super understanding of how much my schedule can change, so I've been really appreciating that. I think I just need to find a cover for like the first day, but the rest of the schedule hasn't come out yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and input my availability on my work app, and then I think we should be good. This can be really tedious for me because I just get super paranoid, so I need to write down my clinical schedule and then write down what I think is available, and then I like triple check it because I can't be too sure, you know what I mean? So we're gonna do that right now. My schedule written out, I'm just going to input it in my work app, and unfortunately I can't figure out how to do it on my laptop, so I have to do it on my phone, which can get really confusing, and this is probably the most time-consuming part of it. Okay, I'm putting in my availability now. It's a lot of red. I always get nervous turning it in. Like, I know they're understanding, but I get nervous. So I'm gonna submit that. Okay, and now I'm gonna text some girls, see if they can cover the one shift that I have scheduled, and then email my boss to let her know that I sent in the request. So that's basically gonna be it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching me reset for the new school year. If you're not already following me on TikTok, go follow me right now. It's at amayerzz with 2 Z's. I try to post a lot of nursing school content, day in my life, study with me's. So if you want to see that, then definitely go check out my TikTok page. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your year, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.